Maybe it's time that you can actually get back in the real estate market. Don't be afraid, right? We've all been through tough times. Look, in 2006, these mortgage companies were giving away mortgages to low employee people, $1 million mortgages. I mean, all it took was a pulse and a pen, you got a mortgage. So a lot of this was really their fault back in 2006. And we all know what happened here in Orlando and really the nation in general in 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12. The market simply collapsed. And here in Orlando, you can actually we were essentially in the epicenter in a lot of ways of this whole financial collapse. We've all been through tough times. Look, don't feel bad about having to go through a foreclosure. Don't feel bad about giving away mortgages to lenders have really $1 million mortgages. I mean, all it took was a pulse and qualifications. You got a mortgage. So a lot of it in 2009, 10, 11, it was almost impossible to get a mortgage. We all know what happened here in Orlando, but now, really the nation, well, it takes more than just a pen and a pulse. In 2008, 9, 10, 11, the market required for you to get a mortgage or buy your house. We were essentially supposed to pay in a lot of ways astonishingly high rental rates. And don't something that you probably can't do. So don't be afraid. Stop paying someone else's mortgage. It's time to try to get back into the real estate market again. If you have any questions whatsoever, 407 2009, 10, 11. It was almost impossible to get them. It was almost easier to get them cash, but now, really, well, it takes more than just a pound. 2008. I'll bring on two very special guests who required you to get a mortgage. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us on.
So you guys own a company called Croft Real Estate. What's it like being a husband and wife team?
It's great. It gives us the flexibility.
This mortgage, it's time to try to get back into the real estate market again. If you have any questions whatsoever, 407. They're the fault that 2006. We all know what happened here in Orlando and really the nation in general in 2008, 9, 10, 11. The market simply collapsed. And here in Orlando, you can actually get back in. Thank you for being here today. So when you think about, so you guys own a company called Croft Real Estate. What's it like being a husband and wife team?
It's great.
Southwest
This mortgage is time to try to get back into the real estate market again. If you have any questions whatsoever, 407. Tracy, they're fault that 2006. We all know what happened here in Orlando and really the nation in general in 2008, 9, 10, 11. The market simply collapsed. And here in Orlando, we were essentially in. So when you think about, so you guys own a company called Croft Real Estate. What's it like being a husband and wife team? This mortgage is time to try to get back into the real estate market again. If you have any questions whatsoever, obviously, we care about the price. 2009, 10, 11. It was almost impossible. We all know what happened here in Orlando and really the nation. Well, it takes more than just a pound. In 2008, 9, 10, 11. The market expired. You can hear no sign of what happened. Thank you for being here. So you guys own a company called Croft Real Estate. What's it like being a husband and wife team? This mortgage is time to try to get back into the real estate market again. If you have any questions whatsoever, 407 2009, 10, 11. We all know what happened here in Orlando. Really, it takes more than just a pound. In 2008, 9, 10, 11. The market expired. Thank you for.
no other debt. You might go up a little.
Gotcha. Now let's say, Tracy, I'm selling my home, okay? So I'm going to list my home with you guys and really look to sell it. I know that there are times where some sellers will go in and try to negotiate with you, or any real estate agent, of course, the commission. And I think there's some dangers and pitfalls in really doing that. I mean, what do you think about negotiating this commission right out of the gate?
You know, selling a home is going to be your biggest asset as far as you want to make sure that the agents you're using are doing everything they can for you. So as far as negotiating it, you want to go in with who is the most professional, who do you think is going to represent your home the best, who do you think is going to market your home. You know, as far as negotiating the price, I don't think that should be the priority. It should be more focused on who do you think is going to do the best job in getting your home sold for the highest price. And using a professional agent is going to help you get the best price for a home, which will make up for any money you might save negotiating on a commission with an agent that's not as experienced.
I mean, listing, you know, putting MLS, if that was the only job, well, anyone can do that, right? We could charge $100 and do that. That's just the beginning of a real estate transaction. Every real estate transaction is filled with pitfalls that people are not expecting. 10 to 20 different parties, inspectors, surveyors, appraisers, et cetera, and problems that occur that the person handling your transaction, representing you, has to have experience, and the way to get experienced people is typically going to be on the higher end of the compensation scale commission-wise.
We're talking to Shane and Tracy Croft, Croft Real Estate. If you have any questions whatsoever, the phone number 407-205-0400, the website youhavepower.com. Now, I'd like to show off a couple of listings that you guys do have, okay?
Right.
And I know that whole southwest part of town has some really expensive listings, but it also has some listings that can be affordable for all of us as well.
Absolutely.
Right? So let's start now. Let's go to your listing there on Ledge Mint Lane.
Yes.
What neighborhood is this in, Tracy?
This is in the gated community of Glenmuir, and this home is priced at $649,900, but this neighborhood does start in the 300s about, so absolutely affordable. This home is done incredible. The backyard that we're looking at right now
Wow.
is an oasis. I mean, the size of the backyard, it's on a conservation lot, it's got an amazing pool. You still have plenty of space for your kids to play or your animals to run around in. It is just a really, really beautiful backyard.
I would be afraid to let my 1-year-old loose back there. She's like a little Tasmanian devil. My 1-year-old. I have a 6-year-old who is the most gentle thing you've ever seen in your life. I have a 1-year-old that just like spins around all day long. And I was up at 3 a.m. this morning just hanging out with her.
Yes.
You know, it's unbelievable. But certainly a nice pool area back there and playground area too for kids.
And the inside is just as beautiful. They have upgraded everything in the home. She has a great eye for design, and it is just an amazingly home.
Talk to me a little bit, Tracy, about price per square foot, because I know that's one way to really kind of compare listing to listing, apples to apples, so to speak. I mean, is there a certain price per square foot that I really want to be looking for?
You know, it really depends on the finishes, what lot you're in, what the finishes are, what neighborhood it's in. So it's going to vary greatly, even amongst Windermere, from neighborhood to neighborhood. So it's really more what they're looking for and what's most important for them. This particular home is going to have nicer finishes than most of the homes in the neighborhood. It's going to have a bigger lot than most of the homes in the neighborhood. So price per square foot may be a little bit higher. Actually, a home the same floor plan just closed recently for a very similar price.
Gotcha. I know you guys love that area down there. I know
We
that's
do.
your spot. I'm sort of Seminole County, which is just the opposite. It's actually easy for me to get to if I had a helicopter. You know what I mean,
Yes.
with all the traffic.
Yes.
How is the traffic down there generally? I'm not saying from to get from Windermere to downtown, but just generally speaking, when you're riding around the Winter Garden, Windermere area, how's traffic down there typically?
I haven't found it too bad. There's downtown Windermere gets a little slow because they've tried to preserve the 2-lane road. There's some dirt roads, things like that, to have it that old town feel. However, with 535 and the 429 and the larger roads, traffic moves really well.
Right. What's going on in this downtown Winter Garden area? It seems like it's just blowing up there, right? With restaurants, bars, farmers markets, and everything.
Absolutely, they are revitalizing that area, and it's amazing. The restaurants and everything they've put in down there.
Is Ocoee still considered the southwest part of town,
It
or is
would-
that something a little different than we're talking
It
about?
would be a part of the Southwest.
Okay. I mean, there's some affordable properties in Ocoee as well.
Absolutely,
Yeah, absolutely.
absolutely.
Gotcha. All right, I think we'll go to the next listing now. Now, this listing's not for all of us, of course. You know, you're going to have to save up
Just
for
for
this
you,
one.
Justin.
But I wanted to give you at home, the ability to really tour some houses today, again from your living room, and see what really is out there and what these mansions really cost. Now, let's go to Louise Cove Drive. Tell me about this house, Shane.
So this is in the legendary community of Osworth, where Shaquille O'Neal, Tiger Woods, famous names that we all know. Prices, homes start above $1 million and then go up to 8, 9 million, sort of unlimited. This particular home, which we can look at a little better when we get to the front, is about 7,000 square feet, listed at 3.75 million. And it's on the water, on Lake Louise, which is the name of the street. And that is actually the same lake that the Osworth Club is on. So you can actually jump in your boat and be at the club in about 2 minutes, on a boat ride and be at the club.
When people are wealthy enough to afford a nearly $4 million house, are they just so rich that they pay cash, or they get mortgages as well?
Most are cash.
Most are cash at that price point, huh?
Correct.
Yikes. And when you go to sell a home like this, Shane, I mean, do the current owners really have to go over and above to really make them perfect before you even go to listing, or you kind of sell them as is normally?
This home is maintained in perfect
Oh,
condition.
I love this question.
Yes.
It's important. They have not lived here in a year. And this home has bi-weekly cleaning service still, twice a week lawn service. The home is staged with incredible furniture. There's a home manager that comes out twice a week.
Wow.
Just to make sure it is absolutely perfect.
Yes.
Beautiful. What's a typical turnaround time if you're selling a house of this size, over $3 million? Do you normally tell your clients, like, this is probably going to take 6 months, it's going to take 60 days? What's a typical turnaround time for something like that?
You have to say it could be a year. Well, when homes, like any price range, are priced correctly, in good condition, with nice finishes, they will sell much quicker. So, but we also have a limited audience. How many people are buying $3 to $4 million homes? A few per month. It's consistent, but your marketing time can vary a little. It can vary greatly compared to, say, a listing under 500,000.
Right. Awesome job. That is Shane and Tracy Croft Real Estate. Now, you guys are going to stick around for the real estate roundtable here in a few minutes, right?
Okay.
All right, awesome. If you have any questions about these listings or anything else we talk about at the show, call us 407-205-0400 or visit the website, youhavepower.com. Another very special guest coming up next, Jay Talenda with eXp Realty, a good friend of mine as well. We're going to talk a little bit more about investment properties with Jay and what really is out there in the market when it comes to investment real estate. I know Jay spends a lot of time down in the southwest part of town as well. And Jay Talenda, how are you, buddy? Good to see you.
How are you?
I must love you guys. This is the very first show, and look who I had here, right? All right, Jay Talenda. So tell me about eXp Realty, by the way, a little bit. I know there's been a lot of Keller Williams agents who have moved over recently to eXp. And what's going on over there?
It's just a different model. It's similar to the KW model with profit share or revenue share and just a sense of ownership to it and a culture. But it's KW on steroids. So it's a simpler format, it's a simpler formula, and it's really technology driven versus brick and mortar. So they're able to chisel out a lot of the costs, the overhead that brokerages incur under the traditional brick and mortar setup. And it's web-based, it has resources for consumers as well as agents, team leaders, and ongoing continuing ed.
I talked earlier a little bit about how people are still somewhat scared because they might have gone through a bankruptcy, might have gone through a foreclosure a few years ago, and they heard all these rumors about you can't get financing, you've got to wait 7 years to get a mortgage, and that's just not true, is it?
It's not. I actually just had a client that had a short sale 6 months prior and was able to obtain conventional financing. Typically it's 2 years, and if it's a Freddie or Fannie loan, then it's 4 years, but nope, that happens. As you mentioned earlier on the show, it was very common amongst most of the population throughout America to have those troubles, a few years ago.
I know you don't worry much, or you don't work very often in the rental market. You're not representing renters typically, unless it's a friend or something, of course. But what is the rental market really like out there right now?
Well, actually, I sold a lot of homes to hedge funds that then repaired the properties and held them as rentals. So the rental market has gone crazy. And with the reduction of interest rates, it's really blown out of proportion. The rental rate versus a purchase mortgage and the cost of home ownership. So right now would be a better time to own, take advantage of the rates where they stand right now, and start building up the equity.
It's a great time to be in the rental market when you're a landlord right now, I would say, right? So if you're a landlord, great time to be in the rental market. When you're someone who's looking for a house for your family, it's a great time to buy because the mortgage rates are still historically low. And I'm just telling you, the rental market is so high. To go rent the same exact house versus purchasing it, when you look at where your mortgage payment would be, inevitably your mortgage payment's going to be less than the rental payment.
Absolutely.
But that brings me to my next question, Jay. Jay Talenda, eXp Realty. I know you've worked with a lot of investors, a lot of investment properties. Let's say I want to get into investments a little bit. What is something I really need to be looking for when I buy my first investment property?
Affordability and age as well. One thing that creeps up on landlords is the cost of maintenance and repairs. So if you have an older home and it has not been updated, those costs can eat up your return pretty quick. You also look for your area and really whatever sweet point of pricing you're looking for as far as your return and stability of the tenants.
Would you ever invest in condominium?